Hey Bears fans, we are diving deep into the latest developments surrounding our beloved Chicago Bears. And there's a lot to talk about as we head into this season. One of the biggest stories that has shaken the league recently is the Green Bay Packers trading for Micah Parsons, a move that immediately changes the landscape, not just for them, but for everyone who will face them this year. For the Bears, it underscores the critical need to evaluate the edge rusher situation. The truth is the current group needs reinforcement. The names that might still be viable, like Zadarius Smith and Javon Clowney, are limited options, and the market for top-tier pass rushers is extremely thin. Other high-profile players, such as Trey Hendrickson, have re-signed with their teams, closing the door on what could have been significant moves. That leaves the Bears with a few strategic choices to make, and every decision will have an impact on the team's ability to compete at a high level, especially against division rivals who have strengthened their rosters aggressively. When we look at the matchups, the challenge at left tackle becomes incredibly apparent. Whoever is taking snaps, there will have to contend with one of the most physically gifted defenders in the league, and this is a position that could define not only the outcome of individual games, but also the trajectory of the entire season. Players like Braxton Jones are talented, and there is potential for growth. But the reality is that facing someone like Micah Parsons twice a year is a tall order for any offensive line. The Bears have invested in their offensive line with players like Joe Thuney and Jonah Jackson, hoping they provide the necessary support and stability. The offensive scheme will likely continue to favor formations that allow for extra protection, meaning 12 personnel sets will be more common, ensuring that the quarterback and running game have sufficient support when facing elite pass rushers. This adaptation is not just tactical. It is essential for survival against teams that have focused heavily on building a dominant defensive front. Looking at the defensive side, the Bears still have some questions that need to be addressed. There are players on the practice squad, like Tenno Passling, who could see the field early in the season, offering depth and situational playmaking ability. Veterans who are familiar with Dennis Allen's system could become vital rotation pieces, stepping in when injuries hit or when the team needs specific skill sets in high-pressure moments. Injuries are always a concern, and keeping the roster flexible while maintaining competitive depth is a balancing act that the coaching staff must manage carefully. Austin Booker, for instance, is on injured reserve, which limits options at certain positions. Players like Montsuat and Dombois will need to have an immediate impact for the Bears to stay competitive, as the margin for error is very small when facing elite offenses in the division and across the league. The defensive line rotation will be critical, and the emergence of younger players or less experienced talent could determine the success of the defense overall. When it comes to evaluating individual talent, Caleb Williams' development is one to watch closely. Fans and analysts have debated his potential, and public rankings place him anywhere from the low to mid-20s heading into the season. His rookie year had moments of promise, but was also filled with challenges, including adjustments to coaching changes and team dynamics. The question for this year is how big his leap will be and whether he can elevate the offense into the upper tier of the league. Breaking into the top 15, or even flirting with the top 10, would represent a significant step forward, but it will require consistency, preparation, and the ability to perform in critical moments. For the Bears, monitoring this development is crucial, as a quarterback's progression can influence how aggressively the team approaches the trade market and draft selections in the coming seasons. Speaking of trades, there's been a lot of discussion about the possibility of pursuing edge rushers mid-season. Realistically, the names that were available earlier, like Micah Parsons and Trey Hendrickson, are no longer options. Parsons is now in Green Bay, and Hendrickson has committed to Cincinnati with a new contract, effectively removing those high-profile targets from consideration. That leaves the Bears in a situation where minor adjustments, rather than blockbuster trades, are the likely path. The trade deadline might present some opportunities, but the options are narrow, and any move must be carefully evaluated to ensure it strengthens the roster without sacrificing other key components. In the meantime, internal development, rotation of younger players, and situational use of veteran depth pieces will be the primary focus for the coaching staff. The offensive line will remain a central theme in discussions about the Bears' success. With elite pass rushers looming on the schedule, maintaining consistency at left tackle and across the front five will be critical. The combination of protection schemes, running back assistance in pass protection, and strategic play calling will be heavily emphasized. The goal is to create sustainable advantages, mitigate high-pressure situations, and allow the quarterback to operate with confidence. Without these adjustments, facing teams like Green Bay twice a year, which now include Parsons and Rashawn Gary on the edges, could lead to significant challenges. The importance of edge protection cannot be overstated, and it will shape both practice focus and in-game strategies throughout the season. From a broader perspective, the draft and scouting outlook also influence the Bears' current approach. While there were questions about whether to invest in offensive line talent with earlier picks, the selections made in the draft reflect a long-term strategy to solidify the trenches. Players like Carlson Loveland, Josh Simmons, and others who were considered represent potential building blocks for the future, and their development will be closely monitored as the season unfolds. Decisions on trading back or selecting certain players could have ripple effects on the depth chart and competitive balance. Evaluating each player's contribution in real-game situations will ultimately provide the data needed to make informed decisions moving forward. The broader league context also affects how the Bears plan. Teams like the Packers have signaled their Super Bowl aspirations with aggressive moves, and the Bears must respond strategically to remain competitive. Each roster decision, each practice focus, and each game plan is informed by the understanding that elite competition requires preparation at every level. This extends to both the offensive and defensive units, from protecting the quarterback against dominant pass rushers to generating pressure on opposing quarterbacks to create turnovers and defensive stops. Every small adjustment can have a compounding effect on performance over a 16-game season, and attention to detail will be key. At the same time, every week brings opportunities for players to showcase growth. Rookies stepping into rotation roles, veterans adjusting to new schemes, and mid-season adaptations all play into the larger narrative of the team's development. The combination of film study, practice repetition, and real-game experience is essential to ensuring that the Bears remain competitive across 16 games. Depth becomes even more important when injuries occur, and evaluating how the team responds under pressure is a key indicator of readiness for playoff-level challenges. Looking ahead, the focus will remain on building consistency. The Bears' offensive line must provide reliable protection for the quarterback, while the defensive line seeks to pressure opponents effectively. The coaching staff will need to balance risk and reward, particularly in situations where strategic play calling can change the outcome of a game. Every matchup against elite talent, whether in the division or beyond, will highlight areas of strength and weakness, providing insights that can shape roster decisions and future planning. As we move further into the season, the challenges for the Chicago Bears become even more pronounced, particularly when considering the depth and versatility required across all positions. The edge rusher situation remains a central storyline, and with elite talents like Micah Parsons now in Green Bay, the Bears must rely on a combination of development, strategic rotations, and situational playmakers to maintain competitiveness. Players like Mont Swat and Donbois will need to step up immediately, showing that they can influence the game in key moments. Their performance on the field will not only impact individual matchups, but also the overall effectiveness of the defensive scheme, influencing how the team approaches both run defense and pass rush. With every week bringing elite opponents, the margin for error is small, and consistent execution is crucial to avoiding breakdowns that can shift the momentum of a game. The offensive line continues to be a focal point, as protection schemes will determine the success of the quarterback and running game alike. With Micah Parsons and Rashawn Gary posing threats on the edges, the Bears' left tackle position becomes even more critical. Players like Braxton Jones have shown potential, but facing a generational talent twice a year demands precision, technique, and resilience. Supporting the line, running backs may be called upon to assist in pass protection, and the coordination between offensive linemen and skill players will be a defining factor in sustaining drives. The coaching staff will likely employ creative formations and motion to mitigate pressure, emphasizing 12 personnel sets to allow additional blockers on the field. Every decision on the offensive front will ripple through the play calling, influencing tempo, play selection, and even the confidence of the quarterback. Caleb Williams' development is another storyline to follow closely. After a rookie season filled with adjustments, his growth trajectory this year will be pivotal for the Bears' offense. Public projections place him anywhere from the low to mid-20s in performance rankings. But the real question is how much he can elevate his play and push the team into the top tier offensively. Improvement will require not only technical refinement, but also leadership, decision-making under pressure, and the ability to consistently make plays in critical moments. The Bears coaching staff will focus on maximizing his strengths while mitigating areas of risk, ensuring that he is supported both schematically and with personnel on the field. As defenses across the league adjust to his tendencies, adaptability and growth will be key components for sustained success. In addition to quarterback development, the Bears are also closely watching the contributions of younger players and practice squad members who may be called into action sooner than expected. Tino Pasling, for example, could see early activation due to his familiarity with Dennis Allen's system and his ability to step into situational roles. These rotational players provide depth and flexibility, allowing the Bears to navigate the inevitable injuries and performance fluctuations that occur over a long season. Evaluating their readiness, understanding their strengths, and integrating them effectively into game plans are all part of a broader strategy to maintain competitiveness despite roster limitations. Veteran leadership and guidance will also play a crucial role in helping younger players adjust to the speed and physicality of the NFL, ensuring that every opportunity is maximized. Trade strategy remains a subtle but important factor in the Bears season. While blockbuster trades like Micah Parsons are no longer an option, the team must consider smaller moves and internal promotions to address gaps, particularly along the defensive line. The midseason trade deadline could present opportunities, but the realistic pool of available elite talent is limited. As a result, the focus shifts to internal development, maximizing the potential of current roster members, and strategic game planning to exploit matchups effectively. Maintaining flexibility in contracts, roster spots, and practice squad activations will be key to reacting dynamically to emerging challenges, and the Bears front office will need to be proactive in identifying even minor advantages that can influence game outcomes. The season ahead will test the Bears' adaptability, resilience, and strategic execution. Every game will present challenges, whether from elite divisional opponents, unforeseen injuries, or emerging talent across the league. Balancing immediate needs with long-term development will require disciplined roster management, precise coaching adjustments, and consistent performance from every player. The coordination between offensive and defensive units, the effective utilization of rookies and practice squad players, and the ability to respond dynamically to in-game situations will define the trajectory of the season. Fans should anticipate a team that is constantly adjusting, learning, and striving to compete at the highest level in every matchup. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on our Chicago Bears. And don't be shy. Drop your thoughts on the news in the comments below. Tristan Wirfs' shocking decision to say yes to the Chicago Bears has ignited a whirlwind of speculation across the NFL community, leaving fans and pundits alike scrambling to interpret the implications of such a move. Rumors first began swirling late last night, when unnamed sources hinted that the elite offensive tackle might be considering a drastic shift in his career trajectory. And by the early morning, whispers on social media had exploded into full-blown debates, questioning whether this decision could mark a turning point not only for Wirfs' professional journey, but for the Bears' long-term strategy. Analysts are dissecting every possible angle, from salary cap adjustments to positional rotations, while former players have been vocal about the significance of this choice, suggesting that the Bears may now be positioned to redefine their offensive line hierarchy. Every corner of the NFL Twitterverse seems to be ablaze with speculation as insiders and fans alike attempt to connect the dots, debating potential locker room dynamics, chemistry with quarterbacks, and even hypothetical playoff scenarios that could suddenly become plausible. The energy around this potential signing is almost palpable, with some suggesting that it could signal a larger, more aggressive approach from the Bears management, potentially hinting at future acquisitions or strategic shifts designed to complement Wirfs' unique skill set. As the story develops, murmurs from within the league suggest that the decision was influenced by multiple factors, including team culture, coaching philosophy, and an intricate understanding of offensive schemes that the Bears have been cultivating in recent seasons. Sources close to Wirfs have indicated that while the monetary offer is certainly substantial, the player's inclination toward a team that demonstrates a strong commitment to both player development and championship aspirations played a critical role in his ultimate choice. The conversation around this potential signing has quickly evolved into a debate on leadership styles and organizational vision, as fans and media outlets speculate whether Wirfs' presence might not only fortify the offensive line, but also inspire a new era of discipline and accountability within the Bears locker room. Social media users are dissecting pre-draft interviews, past game tape, and even cryptic statements from coaches to determine whether this decision was genuinely based on football strategy or if it was part of a larger narrative designed to shift the perception of the Bears within the league. Analysts point out that this kind of high-profile acquisition rumor rarely generates such immediate, intense discussion, suggesting that the stakes are exceptionally high, both for Wirfs' career and the franchise's future. Betting markets and fantasy football analysts have also jumped into the fray, debating potential impacts on game day matchups, team rankings, and playoff projections, further fueling the rumor mill and ensuring that this story will remain a hot topic for weeks to come. Industry insiders report that Wirfs' decision has created a ripple effect, prompting rival teams to reevaluate their offensive line strategies and reconsider potential trade options, highlighting just how influential a single player's choice can be in reshaping the NFL landscape. The anticipation surrounding this announcement has grown so intense that even minor comments from coaches or front office personnel are scrutinized and magnified, with fans dissecting every nuance of press conferences for hidden meanings or subtle hints that could confirm or deny the rumor. Sports talk shows have devoted entire segments to speculating on how Wirfs' addition could alter offensive play calling, line protection schemes, and quarterback performance metrics, while digital forums are flooded with hypothetical scenarios, including dream team rosters and projected statistics that might emerge if the deal is finalized. Some commentators suggest that Wirfs' choice reflects a broader trend of players prioritizing organizational culture and competitive opportunity over pure financial incentives, signaling a potential shift in how top-tier talent approaches contract negotiations. The excitement surrounding this story has even reached international audiences, as NFL fans abroad follow every development with keen interest, speculating whether the Bears' bold move could attract global attention and increase the league's visibility in previously untapped markets. Meanwhile, local Chicago media outlets are reporting heightened interest from fans eager to witness Wirfs in a Bears uniform, with ticket sales and merchandise projections spiking in anticipation of a possible official announcement. The narrative around this potential signing has become increasingly complex, encompassing everything from athletic performance analytics to personality fit within the team, with experts debating whether Wirfs' skill set complements existing personnel or necessitates a broader restructuring of offensive line strategy. The discussion has also ventured into the financial domain, as analysts estimate the long-term salary cap implications of acquiring a player of Wirfs' caliber, examining how such a move might influence future contract negotiations for other key players. Fans on social media have become remarkably invested, generating memes, speculative highlight reels, and even mock press conferences imagining the first moments of Wirfs' tenure with the team. This groundswell of engagement reflects not only the popularity of the player, but also the profound hope that his decision could signal a turning point for a franchise that has been hungry for renewed success, igniting a fevered mixture of optimism, skepticism, and pure anticipation. The rumor mill continues to churn at full speed, with every new detail or leak fueling the speculation further, ensuring that the narrative surrounding Tristan Wirfs and the Bears remains the hottest topic in the NFL conversation. At its core, the buzz surrounding Tristan Wirfs saying yes to the Bears underscores a fundamental tension in professional sports between expectation, reality, and narrative. Every analyst and commentator seems eager to stake a claim on what this decision might ultimately mean, whether it signals a transformative shift in team dynamics, a clever strategic maneuver by the Bears management, or a calculated risk that could define the next era of both player and franchise. With sources providing conflicting interpretations, every piece of information is treated as a potential clue in the ongoing puzzle, and fans meticulously analyze game tape, interviews, and past performance metrics in an attempt to anticipate future outcomes. The rumor itself has become a cultural event, with debates spilling into mainstream media, podcasts, and social media platforms, creating a feedback loop of speculation that continually elevates the stakes. Coaches, front office staff, and even teammates are drawn into the conversation, as insiders suggest that Wirfs' decision could influence everything from draft choices to playbook revisions. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Chicago Bears, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.